Here in the Eyes on Texas channel, I brought you an array of college football stories, highlights, prospects, and from programs all across the nation. But this one is probably going to be the most controversial and the hot topic in recruiting going on right now is what's going down on Rocky Top. Knoxville's got some problems. In case you have been living underneath that proverbial rock, not been paying attention to college football the past 3-4 weeks, and you don't know what's been happening to the Tennessee Volunteers, I'm going to bring that up in just the intro part before we get into the main meat of this video. But here on Rocky Top, head coach Jeremy Pruitt has been fired for cause, and that cause was paying players. Of course, that's not a new thing, and probably most programs have done it, or if not, currently doing it. But there's a big difference between getting caught and not getting caught. There's a big difference between paying players and handing out money in McDonald's sacks to recruits whenever they come onto your campus. And that is what head coach Jeremy Pruitt had his recruiters doing. That is what they were doing down there in Rocky Top. Is whenever you went to the University of Tennessee, whenever you went to be a Vol, to go on one of their recruitment trips, whenever it's time to leave, they left you the big old fat stack of cash. They didn't really try to hide it in a shoebox, do it underneath the table, put it in your room. Nope. They straight up handed it to you out the door on your way out in a McDonald's lunch sack. It had McDonald's smiling, we're loving it, getting bad advertisement, but any advertisement is good for McDonald's. But we're not talking about McDonald's, we're talking about the 24 players and the new hiring of Coach Josh Heupel to the Tennessee Volunteer program. And where do I think this program will actually go in the 2021 season? And really, to be honest with you, it's not going to be that far, as you are only allowed 85 scholarship players. Every year, you lose about 18 to 22 players due to being a senior or the NFL draft, so let's put that right at 20 players. So you have your 85 scholarship players. Let's say you drop 20. Now you're down to 65 scholarship players. And it's true. It's true. The University of Tennessee does have a mighty fine recruiting class coming in the 2020-21 season. But with that being said, how many of these recruits will actually still be in this class? They have signed their national letter of intent. That is something that did happen. But do you think the NCAA will make them stick with that national letter of intent? Do you think they're going to hold them to that signature after everything that's been going down in this investigation? Because we're looking at major recruitment violations. We're looking at recruitment violations that are probably going to at least include lack of scholarships for 2 and 3 years down the road, possible bowl bans. If you're a young kid, if you're a parent that has a young kid, do you want him to experience that? Is that something that you really think that is going to be a part of their major 3 and 4 year college football program? I wouldn't want to have my young superstar heading into a dumpster fire of a program which everybody is leaving. And everybody is leaving. It's not the 3 stars. It is absolutely everybody. The 3 most players of prominence transferring out of the University of Tennessee is going to be former 5-star offensive lineman Wanda Morris, who is picking it up and packing it up, going to the University of Oklahoma. Of course, his teammate and now current teammate Eric Gray also going to the University of Oklahoma, who was the heart and soul of this team just this past season. And, of course, the heart and soul of this offense. He attempted the ball, rushing 157 times, toting it for 722 yards. He did average 5 yards a note and 4 touchdowns on this past season. As a true freshman, he was the MVP of their bowl game as they defeated the University of Indiana. Major prospect going to the University of Oklahoma as they have 3, if not 4 transfers from Tennessee to their university. The last and major player of impact, in my personal opinion, is going to be the major inside linebacker Henry Toto. He is 6'2", 225 pounds. He recorded 47 tackles just this past season. He did get 1 big major sack, and he did pick the ball just this 1 time. But missing just these 3 players, they're also missing 21 others that are leaving the university, including 5 linebackers, many DBs, 2 running backs, and of course many offensive linemen, and of course pretty much all of their quarterbacks. So with that being said, it is going to be a matter of nutrition on Rocky Top over there in Tennessee up in Knoxville. As I did state before, you do have your natural progression of 20 players going out, and you do have your incoming freshmen coming in. But will those players stay in? Will the NCAA allow them to get out of their signed national letter of intent if they do want to? As I did previously state in this video, if I was a parent, if I was a child, I would more than likely want to get out of my national signed letter of intent. So let's talk about this head coach that they're getting. Let's talk about Josh Heupel. What I really remember about Josh Heupel growing up is that he was the quarterback that took the University of Oklahoma from pretty much running the ball into the ground to utilizing the forward offensive pass and spreading out under head coach Bob Stoops. He's been a journeyman as a head coach though, 16 years of coaching, and he's been at 8 different places. He was hired at Central Florida December 17th in 2017. Major note, he was not the head coach that defeated the University of Auburn in their miraculous 13-0 season. So that's something that you might want to think of when you're thinking of the University of Central Florida and you're thinking of their head coach. Wow, he must be really good. He's the guy that took him to the promised land. No, that's actually going to be Scott Frost, who picks it up and packed it up himself to the University of Nebraska following that season. But he's a good hire, not a great hire. He probably is the best hire that the University of Tennessee could make at this juncture. He is known as an offensive coach, so the offensive side of the ball should be fine under Josh Heupel. But can he recruit talent to Tennessee Vols during this tumultuous time? Tennessee, in my personal opinion, under this next 3-4 year span, it's going to be 500 at best. It is going to be very hard to recruit in the very very tough to recruit against the very competitive SEC, as they will struggle to maintain the top level of recruiting against those major programs. But at UCF, he was known for squeezing out the talent that he did have. So as an impactful coach, he's going to have to do that because, as I did previously state in this video, most of his talent's moving out the door. And unfortunately for me, a lot of it did go to the University of Oklahoma. But who else would really want the job? I do believe their last coaching hire before they did land Jerry Pruitt, did they go through 8 coaches that they wanted to get the job and didn't take it? So they really wanted to save some face there. They really wanted to save some embarrassment of not going out through a long, drawn-out coaching process and a long-out coaching hire. They wanted to offer the job, and they wanted to have that candidate go ahead and accept that job, make them look good, get the recruiting process going for them, and hopefully save some little bit of face as they face these tumultuous times and possible NCAA sanctions coming up ahead. So with that being said, what do you think about it, Tennessee Vol fans? Do you like your hire? Do you think that you could have done a little bit better? Tell me what you think. With that being said, holla at you, boy. If you do like this kind of sort of content, please like the video. Please subscribe yourselves and share it amongst your friends. But keep your head in a swivel and your eyes on Texas. Hook 'em up, guys.
Ready, be ready, be ready for y'all.
Rage on that beat, gon' crazy. Rage on that beat, gon' crazy.